Welcome back and welcome to Architecture 445, the last course in your SciTech sequence, and particularly to the structures module where we'll be talking about long spans for the first 4.5 weeks or so of the class. The course will be entirely online, and so with this video I just want to take you through the Canvas site, explain how lectures are going to work, and talk a little bit about the lab, both the project and how the mechanics of that will happen. The first thing to note is that like all of your Canvas courses, you can see this template here has this long list of orientation pages or modules, and I'd encourage you to look at all of these. It gathers everything in one place that you'll need before we get started on Monday. You've already found the course tour. You can find information on Ulrike, Bosuk, and myself here, information on Eric there, and then the syllabus and general lab instructions are probably the most important. The syllabus will give you both the course policies, which by now will be pretty familiar, and the general lab instructions have instructions from Eric on how to assign yourselves into lab groups and how some of the laboratory sessions will actually work. Most of the kind of action is going to happen in the module page. So here we have an orientation module. By the end of the weekend, hopefully you've gone through all of that. There's also some sort of general advice in here from the university about academic support, course technology, things like that. Our lecture times are 8:50 to 9:40 on Mondays and Wednesdays. The good news is that you do not have to get up and come to class at 8:50. All of the lectures are pre-recorded. They're on YouTube videos. You can watch them at your leisure. And that class time, I will have Zoom open and I'll be there present. I can answer questions. We can go back and look at various pieces of the lectures if there are things that people want to go into more depth about, or just simply if there are aspects of the lectures that you thought were interesting, want to discuss them further. I will be in the Zoom that I will send to all of you through a Canvas announcement between 8:50 and 9:40 every Monday and Wednesday morning to talk to you about those. Again, attendance is optional, and all of the lectures you can view at your own pace. When you go to STP lecture videos, when you click on one of these, it will take you not to a Canvas site, but we've put the lectures up on YouTube, where we have a little bit more space to work with. You'll see here that they will auto-start. And when you get to the end of the lecture, there will be an end screen that will give you a chance either to go to the YouTube site for the 445 lectures, or to just sort of go. It'll autoplay. It'll go to the next video as well. So if you want to binge all of the lectures at once, you are more than welcome. You certainly don't have to, but I would advise keeping to the schedule. In the syllabus, I've listed a schedule, again with hyperlinks, so you can go straight from the syllabus to the right lecture, indicating about when we think you should be watching each lecture and getting familiar with those. If you come down to the next module, these are all hyperlinks. Under just lecture slides, these are the raw PDFs. So you don't get my smiling face in the corner. You don't get any audio, but these are for reference. You can download them. You can look at them online. They'll be useful both in studying for the quiz and hopefully in thinking about how you solve some of the lab problems that we have. So just like in previous structures modules, there's the live lecture, and then there's also the higher quality, probably PDFs of the slides themselves. All of the readings will be from the books Design Tech or Rob Whitehead's book. Those are either online. You can get them from the library. Of course, if you want to purchase them, that is great, but you don't have to. The material will all be covered in the lectures, so they're recommended texts, certainly not required. And then finally down here under assignments, I have put all of the project lab into one document at the top. And we typically in the Longspan module do a 4-week project where teams have built these kind of 4 or 6 foot bridges, and we've tested them with dumbbells and stuff. And unfortunately, that's a pretty collective athletic endeavor. Not such a great idea these days. So what we've done is we've scaled that down. We're calling it cans and spans. In addition to the material for your long span structure, you will need to buy some testing weights, namely 2 15-ounce cans of beans. And in the course of each week, there's a separate assignment. Here you can see the 4 assignments. The first one will ask you to put together a little PowerPoint or keynote with some narration explaining your hypotheses, how you think you're going to solve the problem. Sketches, SketchUp, like whatever you want to do. Second week, you'll build prototypes, you'll build models, scale down from the final size that you'll poke and prod, and you'll test them to destruction just by smashing them. And again, you'll narrate why you think they're doing what they're doing, based hopefully on some of the things that we're covering in lecture. The third week is going to be the most interesting one in that lab session, which is entirely optional. You can test a full-size model online. We'll have the Zoom open. We'll issue some scales that you can use to weigh your model. That's what we're actually going to assess them on. And you can consult with myself and with Eric. That is entirely optional. But I will tell you that in past years, the projects that have won have always prototyped. The knowledge that you get from actually busting stuff is always much greater than the knowledge that you get from just sort of thinking things through. And then the final lab session, we will have an online event where each team, in the privacy of their own apartments, or if you want in the lab space, will test the models, weigh them, and the lightest one to carry a 15-ounce can of beans will be declared the winner. So here are the dates for those. And then important to note that in addition to that overall assignment, which is right here, each week we have a separate assignment that actually links to the submittal page. So this is where you'll actually submit the final. We've broken it down so that the instructions for each week are kind of separated into those. And then if you want to go back and see the kind of bigger picture, we have the page with the full assignment here under Longspan Project Lab. Okay, that is the Canvas site and the links to the YouTube site. Worth pointing out that YouTube site is a channel that I have, and in there, there is a playlist page. Not only are the Architecture 445 lectures there in a playlist, but I've put all of the lectures for the other courses, or at least the ones that we have finished so far, up there as well. So in addition to the material for this course, if you want to go back and review anything, we have the 347 lectures, the 346 and 348 lectures, not entirely complete. We'll work on those. And the 345 lectures should be up within a couple of weeks. So you're free to go back and review any of those. You're free to watch at your leisure, although hopefully to the schedule, the 445 lectures. And because they're all in one place, you can go back and review them, of course, as many times as you want. If you look at the syllabus, we'll have a quiz about 2/3 of the way through the module, and then the final module quiz. Both of those will be on Canvas entirely, and you'll do them. They'll be open book. You can do them wherever. We'll just ask you on the honor system to work, obviously, on your own. Just final bit, you are welcome to contact me by email. As many of you know, I respond to emails usually first thing in the morning in kind of a big batch. Always available by phone in an emergency, but your first contact, especially for lab issues, will be either Eric or our TA for the course, still undecided at this point. Anyway, this is to me the most fun module of the five in terms of structures. It's the one where we ask you to really kind of get your hands dirty. There is no beam sizing, no calculation. It is just all intuition, long span concepts, and as we'll come back to again and again and again, not just how we make things strong, but how we make things efficient. And the sequence of labs that we'll ask you to do is geared entirely toward doing that. Anyway, enjoy the last couple days of summer. We will see you one way or another sometime next week. You are welcome, of course, to pop into the Zoom lecture time if there's something you want to discuss or if you have questions. And at least we'll see everyone in person on Zoom during the Friday lab session.